Graphs and equations, and now we're really going to look at what do graphs tell us and what information can we see, and can we apply the understanding of slope as well as the understanding of the y-intercept to a real life situation that is being drawn for us in a graph. So this time we're going to put the clock on there for 8 minutes. We're going to use the guideline sheet that Ms. Scott came around, and it's a sheet that I've check marked in blue, okay? That implies, here's what I figured you had a little bit of issues with. Here are the questions I would like you to use to guide yourself to answer the rest of these correctly, okay? So I'm going to put 8 minutes from there, and then I will continue to explain this at that time. So please turn it back over. Using the green pen, make updates and edit. So no longer use your writing utensil. Only use the green pen to address the things that I've check marked. Now I know I did not get to check mark everybody, so I gave everybody a check mark, but I didn't get to check front and back. So I might come around and I might add more check marks to your sheet. Time begins now. Read that. Okay, yes, vertical is up. So I should see everybody using their green pen, reading the guideline sheet, and making adjustments on their paper. You've already made your adjustments, Ronaldo? We need to go back and adjust. And you weren't supposed to erase it. Not working with your notes, right? Okay, so I'll just see how I can check. Alright, actually I'm gonna circle there should be everybody using their green pen to make adjustments, and you are definitely reading up here about that, as well as reading in that space. And you did not get there, so those are the things I want to be focused on. You can make your, you already make adjustments? maybe the way you phrase it, maybe. This is not entirely correct. So again, I think we should go back. Yeah, I would like you to, if I come here, check that. It's like really, so those answers are in the ballpark, but they're very generic. They're not that specific to what is actually happening in the graph. So that's what I'd like you to try to really focus on that. Okay. Well, actually, okay. So you made some okay. Like you reveal that here. No, I only want you to redo it in green. I need you to follow my instructions, which is only redo it in green. You should no longer be using a writing utensil, which means you're not erasing your old work. I never said erase your old work. I said use your green pen to make your edits, and that is exactly what I mean. Not exactly. All right, you have about 2 minutes. You got a couple of checks here. You only see that. I want you to look at that. And okay. No, but I want you to think Parker and Ronaldo. Here you go. Madeline Zion. I had not said that yet. Okay, please quickly move so that you can sit next to your partner. Do that now. Madeline, he's coming back. Alright, at this time in your group, what you're going to do is still using the green pen. I gave each group a new clean sheet of paper, okay? I want you guys to find some common answers on your new sheet, okay? So looking at the sheets that you guys have together, I'd like you to find some common answers that you guys came up with and put it on the new sheet. On that new sheet, please put both of your names, okay? So one sheet should have Parker and Ronaldo names on it. And that Sherelle sheet should say Sherelle and Jacob. Now, Jacob, I know you have an extra sheet, but that's yours. So Sherelle's got to get you a little caught up. But that's only 10 minutes, so the clock is going now. Actually, I'm gonna go back to 8, and if you need those other 2 minutes, I'll give them back to you. So right now, clock is 8 minutes. You're talking. What do you have in common on your papers and writing it on the new sheet? So I'd like you to kind of go up to certain groups behind them and hear their conversation, and then I'll probably join some of those groups. So spend maybe 2 minutes at a couple of the groups. Okay. We use the green pen. Green pen. And kind of look at their paper, look at the writing, and just get close to you. Like he's talking now.
You got less razor. I got the mass change of less razor. So I guess.
I'll be back.
I felt like, because every time he eats a different amount.
I said,
Okay, actually write it on the new sheet.
So, if we have a different answer, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, all the graphs are the same. All the graphs used are the same.
Alright, what do you see?
No.
Yeah. I said no too. Then you reach the bottom of the graph.
You should explain to me what it is.
Okay, so let me see the front of your common answer sheet. Okay, so the common thing you guys said, what is Vincent doing when there's a vertical line on the graph? He is eating more raisins, so there is less and less. Less and less of what? Of mass. Okay, so you said mass and you said raisins. Do you think they're the same thing or not? Oh, kinda? Why kinda?
I mean, yeah, basically. Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. So sometimes it's just hard to say yes. It's just yes. Yes. So instead of saying less and less, why don't you say there are less raisins or there are less mass? You know, you want it to be a complete sentence so that when I go back and read this, I really understand what you mean less and less. Because right here, there's also another variable, which is, what's that variable? Time. So it could be there's less time. We're not sure about that. Okay. So C says yes and yes. So you guys have common answers on that. And you guys agree with those common answers? Okay. Let me see. I don't think I ended up putting any good questions about that one. Let's see. Trying to kind of just... I think this one would be more about what information does the graph tell us. And so, okay, so in this question, did he eat all the raisins? All right. So I see hers says it's because a horizontal line until the end. All right. Well, okay. What does that y-axis represent? Okay. But if you could use words, like you're talking to your friend, would you say to your friend, "Hey, this line represents the mass of brain sleep"? What would you tell your friend? Okay.
The mass is the vertical line. Since the time axis is like straight for a certain amount of minutes at one time. I think that's when you stop eating.
Okay. So I heard you say he stopped eating. Does that imply that he ate them all just because he stopped eating? No. Okay. But he might have got full. But does that, because the question said, did he eat all the raisins? So that's not the same thing to say he stopped eating and eating all the raisins. It could be. So let's look at one more thing. Because one of the things, you still were using a lot of math there, and I just really want you to say, okay, what does that line represent? Are you going to say that that line represents the mass in grams to your friend? Like, what would you say to your friend? Well, and that's my point. I don't want you to use math. I literally want you to, you probably eat raisins or cranberries or something of this sort. What would you say to your friend instead of mass in grams? Like, what choice of words would you? Thank you. He was eating raisins, and mass would represent. What's another word that can represent the mass? How many? What's a one word that represents how many? Amount. Okay. The amount of raisins. So right here, right there is where that's at. Where would you expect that graph to be at for it to represent eating all of them? Is that graph there? Okay, think about that. And stay to hear what they talk about how they might adjust their answer. But I never said that was wrong. You changed it. Oh. Okay. Tell me more.
I guess change that.
Your graph isn't done. Why are all the circles around just the same amount? Okay. No, they redefined the graph. Oh, it doesn't say that. What is happening when the line is horizontal? He is drinking. Well, she. Okay, so let me see some of the common answers here. Drink. Okay, now tell me why is that it?
Right. Alright, so I still
Okay,
get
now even though you got different answers, what about the discussion to get the same answer so that it starts to make
that's
sense?
increasing by different
So
amount
even though
each
the
time.
other answers that you actually have written down weren't the same, that's when you start to talk to one with each other. And you start to ask each other, how can we get the same answer? And again, you guys count some guidelines here. Let's ask these questions to each other, have a discussion about it. You don't stop with just one thing. So let's go back to the other side. So for example, and I want to go here, for example, A, 2A. What is happening when the line of the graph is horizontal? He said time is increasing. She said she is not drinking any juice at all. Okay. Talk about those. Even though the words aren't the same. Think about, why don't you maybe explain to Madeline what you meant, and Madeline maybe explain what you meant, and you might find something that there is in common and that pertains to go.
I said the minutes are equal.
I should stay. There was some good conversation. I'm sorry.
I had said time is equal because we going this way, so it's more time than that one. Yeah.
Okay.
B, I got it. Oh yeah, I already told you that.
She's like not drinking, there's not any time.
If she's, you said if she's not drinking, she doesn't need time?
No, like,
But can we control the time, Zion? No. So even though she's not drinking, can, so could those maybe be two things that are happening at the same time? So did maybe you guys find a common answer in that if you put those answers together? So write your answer, then I want to hear what you say about that. Okay, write your answer, and I'm going to come back to that. All right, boys and girls. Some of you are still working, so I will go ahead and give you one more minute. One more minute.
Time is still going, and that's why it's flat.
You do need 2 minutes? Okay.
He's in a commercial too. It's always better.
All right. So they're going to write that. I'm going to listen to them say that out loud. Jaylani, your conversation is only here with Joseph. Okay, so here on the graph, let's look at the graph. Let's look at also the questions that I've asked you. For example, a person who has not contemplated. It started, what is the mass of the bag of cherries? So these questions guide you into where to start your graph at. Okay. So both of your graphs are very similar, so that's a common response.
That's very
But
small.
I did check that on both of your sheets. That technically
Oh, that's the
incorrect.
old flip there.
Let's go to incorrect.
That thing
Is
used to be
there
really
only
popular.
one rate? And one rate implying how the mass of cherries is changing. Is it changing the exact same? And continuing is, what are the actions of Ralph? Talk to me. What were the actions of Ralph?
He's eating that cherry and putting it in the bag and taking it out.
You put the wrong back.
Put the seed in there.
Okay. So imagine that idea. Okay. So
Wouldn't, I think the mass wouldn't go down that much. It would go like halfway down maybe.
okay.
That's what I did. I did halfway.
But okay. So are you telling me that he's able to do these two actions at the same time? Can he actually eat the cherry and put that stone back in the bag at the exact same time? No. So these two actions are happening when?
One by one.
One by one. Okay. So I get that you got pretty much, let's say we let each one 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, right? So he probably eats the cherry when? At 1 minute. When would he probably put the stone back in the bag? Maybe at minute 2. Why don't you draw me something that represents that? Alright, so we're on the last second. Tell me what you guys said about that.
It said even when she's not drinking, time is still going, and when time is flat, because nothing's happening during that time.
Okay, I like it. Alright, okay, so you're going to get more time to keep working with your partner. We're now going to go to analyze some flawed work of other students, okay? So what you've been doing right now is just comparing common answers, getting the same idea, getting on the same track, making sure you understand the same information, okay? So at this time, I'm going to pass your group some flawed student work, okay? Meaning that it is incorrect, okay?
Whenever somebody wanted to get it.
What's
up?
Let me just check this out.
Bloody ivory.
1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 2 sets of J. Oh, okay, I see how it is. I apologize. And I think, you know what I'm also going to end up doing? Please don't do that. Voices are off, boys and girls. I need you listening. I think I'm going to kind of join a couple of groups together. Yeah, perfect. So actually, I'm going to take this group of 2 back there because they're already here, okay? And begin to analyze the person's work that you've been provided.
This is yours.
Analyze what they might have done wrong in this situation.
This is his.
Both good
You
enough.
gave us the same.
I know that.
No, we already did.
Have I given you guys? Have I given you Aya? Have I given you anything? Oh, because Caraway's coming back to you, and she has yours. So I will go ahead and do it. Both of you quickly come back there, and you're going to analyze. You have 4 students' works to analyze. Look look at them at one at a time. I think I'll give you letters which time to look at. Yes, ma'am. They didn't. And so you're going to write comments in your green pen. I'm sorry, my meter needs to stop. I don't like to tell you this every day. Do you have any cake? Do you guys need cake? All right, everybody look at I together. Look at I together. And I'm going to put the clock down. You only have 15 minutes to do it all together. You guys see I? Do you write on this?
So we're group.
This is my thing. Put up the thing, not put up, but move to the side the ones that you've been working on, except the ones Ms. Scott has just handed out. You should have an I, E, J, K. And they are the ones that have no writing. I mean, they've been copied. Okay, this is copied. Okay, I need you guys to turn around because you guys are now going to be working together as a group. All right, J and I. So go ahead and move those over so that you're not confused. Everybody should now be looking at I as a group. Okay. So this time, he has the I. Okay. Turn a little bit so this is one big group now. No problem. Are you sure you don't have E at all? Because I only have one E here.
Oh, just kidding. Never mind, we have you.
Okay. All right. Now you guys need to turn. Where are you going? Okay. You guys need to turn in so that you guys can be talking.
Get that on camera.
So now, looking at I, analyze what this person may have done wrong. Talk about what they've done wrong. Stay there for a while. Talk about what the person in I has done wrong. It's fine. You don't need to worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I actually think
Eating is the same thing.
Eating and chewing is the same thing.
Eating and chewing is
The only difference is that when you eat, you swallow.
Looking at I, even use your green pen and say what this person has done wrong.
Eating kind of combines chewing and swallowing.
I picked up raisins.
Yeah, like each one, like they could pick up more each time maybe.
Yeah.
You're looking at I and
Or
you're
the
actually
size
saying
of the raisin.
what has this person done wrong.
Decreasing.
Yes,
Because you know you
both,
kind of
write and talk.
Doesn't matter.
You're actually identifying what did they do wrong.
And
That's wrong.
this one's right here, see?
It says whoa.
No, it says no.
Oh. That's not right.
This
It
is.
says it didn't end at the origin, which is correct. That's what I put, basically. Alright, so let's
That's
go to
right.
Yep. There's juice in the straw. I don't really get why she said that on B.
It's because she paused.
She is drinking.
No worries about Toronto.
I said they weren't like eating
I can't even
the
read
drink
this.
basically.
There is juice in the straw
Like,
that wasn't
It wasn't going like immediately away.
consumed. That's pretty wrong to me. Oh, that's wrong too. She didn't get to finish.
Okay. But does that mean that it's wrong just because she hasn't finished? Has what she started on, does it look like it could be right?
No,
Why not?
No.
because it might take 2
The mask
minutes.
goes up as you
No.
Okay.
Man,
Oh,
no, because you
yeah.
can't do it at the same time. So, if
Well,
you
yeah.
say you go halfway, then you go over, halfway.
Look, it went up because you know how 1 minute they ate it, then goes down, but she put it back the next minute. So.
That's pretty right to you.
Mhm.
I don't get it.
Come on, come on, come on.
Okay.
Because you wasn't here. Wait, what is this?
I don't know. It's something I just found and I
Talk about the difference in this graph and that graph.
That's
This one's
This
Not
wrong.
one
right.
is
That's
like
wrong.
Let's not talk about right. Well, we know we want to, but we want to talk about errors. It's not just it's wrong. You don't want Miss Scott to just tell you you're wrong. You want me to be able to explain.
That one's not this one.
No,
No,
but tell me
because-
like the
You
understanding.
eating the stones. You eating the cherries, and then it's like you eating them again.
Okay. So this one is all happening at
different.
like one big group is what I mean. Like you eat, then you put them back. This one is showing what?
You put it back. You put it back.
Which one did the scenario actually say is happening?
You put it back.
Oh.
So this must be Caraway's.
I don't know. All right, let's keep going. And don't forget, now go. All right, you guys have had time. Go ahead and go to E. Everybody look at E as a group. Talk about it. Write on it. Why is it wrong? What, or not why it's wrong? What errors? What flaws do they make? Now, Madeline, I do see your writing, which I love, but I think I'm not sure if they've seen it. So I think at the beginning, what to kind of start with, say, this is what I'm thinking about. Then you start to show it, and then after they see it and they're able to think about it, then you can write your response. But right now, they have nothing to do. They can't comment. They can't think because they don't know what E looks like. No, that doesn't.
That's right. It's the same questions. I know. It's right. I don't get it. Why it's just the same question. We're going and correcting it.
You're correcting. These are different students' work. They're not the same student work. People answer things in different ways. So we want to see what were the flaws. Not again.
Look at your face.
Didn't reach the bottom when he was saying reached. So you said when he said reached, that's kind of a flaw. Like what do you?
No,
what would
like
you
I
him to
didn't
say?
finish the sentence.
No problem. Like what
Like
you
when
want
he's
him
saying
to say?
it reached the bottom, he's saying like hitting 0 on the graph.
Okay. So you would have liked him to use vocabulary
About like math.
about math. Okay, because he's got a math assignment.
Bottom doesn't make sense.
Okay. So what bottom we're talking about is what you'd really like to talk about. Okay. I think that was a great response about that. Tell me more. I know you guys will need to look at some more pieces of that. All right. I want this group, as soon as you guys get done with that one, look at J as a group. Okay? And then when you guys get done with this group here, look at K as a group. Okay? Go ahead and jump to K. Okay. Speak a little louder for us, Madeline.
Like so when he's like so they're trying to say like this is when he's eating the raisins, like right down, and like when he's not, the time is like flat because he's not doing anything. So I guess that is right. I mean,
Okay.
It sounds stupid, but I guess it's
Okay.
right.
So it says when he is eating and when he is not. Now, this is what my thing is. I feel like you interpreted which line was eating and which was not eating. So maybe the error, or like you were doing, is just suggesting that they say more. Maybe to say, because do you think that the vertical line can be both eating and not eating? The vertical line itself can be both eating and not eating.
Oh no.
It's one line, and we've been talking about types, so it should just be one thing. So my thing is to suggest that they state only one, and if they wanted to talk about the horizontals, then they have to go back. He might need to go back and clarify that he was talking about the horizontal line to imply no eating.
Okay.
And you don't have to write that. It's just a discussion for us. I think one more thing I wanted to say. Now, because one question is why are they different lengths? I don't know if that addresses why are they different lengths. Yeah, we can understand that the vertical line is he's eating the raisin. But the question is why are each of these lines different lengths?
Because he's eating different amounts of raisins.
That's what he has not answered. That's what he's not answered. Write that down. All right, I'm going to come here because this is the last group I haven't kind of discussed. And you guys, I've asked you to look at K, right? No? Which one? No. Which one did I ask you to look at? J. Let's talk about E. Oh, okay, well then let's go back to E. Let's go back to E.
Olive. Maybe takes movie star
Okay,
professional.
talk to me about the errors that you guys found in E.
Okay, well.
I don't know. I want you to say why this person has made some errors.
Because the vertical lines are going down in mass. That means different amount of mass each raisin has.
Okay. Now you say each raisin. Do you think do you think that each raisin is literally, like for example, you've got a really small line and a really big line. Do you think the raisins in one box are technically that much of a big difference? Oh, so we could change it to the amount of raisins. So, even though each one technically is a little different size, but I don't think each one is going to go from this size to that size to pull out each one. But I do think it's actually, like you said, it's the amount of raisins that he's grabbed there. Talk to me about this graph a little bit. Why not? I want to hear from Jamarius. Oh. It just stops? Okay. So you're saying it can't stop?
Well, I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just, I don't understand.
Now, you might not understand that graph, but the question is this graph right?
Oh God.
So my question is, if this is not right, then you would have an understanding of what is right. What should the right one look like?
When he puts the stuff back in, it should go up.
Okay. All right, you guys, so what I want to now do is have a whole class discussion. All right? I want you to pay attention. I need you to turn. All right? I want a whole class discussion. Actually, someone just hand me one of the Vincent graphs, and we're just going to go kind of by each one. All right? The first one, okay? Well, I kind of want to start with what is this graph telling us in general? We've got a story and we've got a graph. I want a hand, and again, and each time I kind of want a different hand. I want this to be conversation. Just kind of throw out a little bit of piece of information where we're respectful in a manner. All right, but go ahead, talk to me. What did the very first graph tell us? Joseph. He's eating raisins over a certain amount of time. That is correct. Actually, I'm sorry. I did bring raisins for you guys to share.
I love raisins. I hate raisins. I love raisins.
So I did only buy, I think, 20, 14, enough that you should share in one box.
Raisins are healthy, so
I know. But there's someone who might not actually eat it. So here's no. Okay. Voices are out. Focus. Focus, baby. Focus. Let's go back. So Joseph said to us, he's eating some raisins over, a certain amount of time. Okay. And inside of this graph, we're not seeing just one straight continuous line. We're seeing some changes that are happening here. Someone talk to me after the discussion that you've had. Someone talk to me about the how this it should go down?
Where is it?
No, we're not talking about errors right now. I just want to talk about as a discussion. When you're looking at number one, so you can pick up any
Oh,
paper,
number one.
and you're looking at number one, and the question is, what are the changes that we can see in this graph?
I'll be eating raisins. Eating raisins and he's stopping.
He's eating raisins and then he stops. Okay, what do you mean he stops? Like, is he stopping every few minutes? Is he eating until they're gone? Tell me about that.
He's not eating until they're gone. He's stopping. He's not stopping for a few minutes. So, yeah, he's stopping for like 2 minutes.
Okay. Sherelle, add. He's eating and what? Stopping to grab more. Okay. So, those flat lines, what could, if you were a person eating these raisins, okay, because is this graph talking about how many chomps that he's taken to finish the raisins?
No.
I was talking about how many raisins is always different amounts of raisins.
Say that louder and again.
It's saying not like it's saying the amount of raisins in each pack because there's a different amount of raisins in each pack.
Okay, so a lot of you guys were talking about is him chewing, him eating. We don't really know what's happening actually during those breaks. There are breaks. I mean, I might assume that he grabs it, he's eating it, and that weight is the fact that he's actually chewing them down and his mouth is full. Okay? Now tell me, someone talk a little bit about those vertical drops. Why were the vertical drops different? Say it again louder.
The amount of raisins.
Like the exact same.
Okay. And then, did Vincent eat all the raisins, Parker? No, he didn't. Just give me 30 seconds, okay? Number 2, Ellie's drinking. And it talks about, so I think, do you think that the horizontal lines in Vincent and, actually I'll say this, someone compare how Vincent and Ellie graphs are the same. Someone contrast how Vincent and Ellie